Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. I'm sorry about being late here. I typically don't schedule them, but I thought, 15 minutes from now, I should be ready to go. And it turns out I needed 20. I went upstairs. It's like, I need a snack, and I don't have any snacks down here. And I got up there, and I was like, ooh, there's a giant donut sitting there. It's a cinnamon roll, big old cinnamon roll with chocolate frosting. And the place we get these ones from is so good. Very soft, not too much cinnamon. Chocolate's not too sweet. Ah, heaven. Unfortunately, it takes a while to eat. So here I am. Sorry about that, guys. Let's see. Della Hayes, how you doing, man? Reaper, how you doing? Remember, guys, you got the first 5 minutes. Ebony, RJ, how you guys doing tonight? I hope everyone is well. Sorry, I tried to rush here, so there's just like a little tiny piece of donut stuck in my teeth. I'm trying to get out. I know you guys don't need to hear that. Shrouded Angel, Kevin, Blunty. Oh, you didn't say my name, Blunty. Damn it. You got a free one. Circus Zero, Richo. How you guys doing? Mr. Dax, Heaven Nunya. Man, I don't know if the first 5 minutes are going to sound worse than the rest of the show used to, but I'm having fun with it, so we'll keep going. Chucker with a tablet, Asian hippie, Blunty Blondie. There you go. You earned that one. Demon Man. All right, we got some stuff to talk about tonight. I want to talk about Bernie's taxes. And I said this before, Peter. I don't really care about whether or not they release their taxes. Andrew, if you're running for president, there is no good reason you should have to release your taxes. It's private information. It's none of your fucking business. But if they're going to release them, then I think it's fair to go over them and look at them. Andrew Joyner, all you need, Kyler. So Bernie released his taxes today. So there's some interesting stuff in there. There really is. Well, at least it brings up some interesting questions. And we'll get to those in a little bit. But right before I went to air, I saw something really fucking stupid. It's the kind of stupid that when I come across it, I'm like, I actually say out loud, that's really fucking stupid. John, how you doing, man? Netflix had a quick PSA today. A quick PSA. And man, people need to calm down, relax in life, man. It's why do you get so upset about really minor fucking things? So here's what happened. Let's start off with the first of their several tweets. Quick PSA. Can we stop calling films chick flicks unless the films are literally about small baby chickens? Here's why this phrase should probably be retired. Thread. I answered them. I was very blunt and to the point as I usually am. I told them no and stop being a bitch. But I want to expand on that. I want to, in case they come across this, in case whatever pussyfied little bitch person, I don't know if it was a man or a woman who controls the Netflix film account, but you are a bitch. I don't care what gender you are. So here's why. God, I wish the guys were here because they would be great for this. This would be fun to play off. But so you just give me for this part. I'll do my best to make it entertaining. For starters, chick flicks are traditionally synonymous with romantic comedies. This suggests that women are the only people interested in one, romance, two, comedy, which I can promise you from the men I've come across in my life simply isn't true. All right, stop, back up. Wrong. That they are rom-coms, romantic comedies, doesn't suggest that women are the only people interested in romance and separately the only people interested in comedies. To say something like that is man, it's a reach at best. More likely, it's just fucking stupid. Time's up for that, by the way. Any more name shouts have to be the things. Have to be super chats. Remember, I'm not encouraging you to super chat. I am encouraging you to be here in the first 5 minutes because that's when it's important. Because then you get it for the free, which we used to do all the time, but started making me sound like I had Tourette's. Let's see. So they're wrong from the very beginning. Wrong from the beginning. That is some really fucking retarded logic. That because you say they're chick flicks, that means only women like romance and comedy. Now, remember, they're separating those. They're not saying only women like romantic comedies, which is actually the implication. And it's not that only women like romantic comedies. St. Poogie says, no, I checked. I came in at 3 minutes. I started at 2:15 my time. Just saying. I know that because I looked at the clock when I started and it's like, wow, I'm 5 minutes late. Jenna, thank you so much. Let's see. They move on. There aren't sweeping categories specific to men. You don't hear people asking to watch man movies. Instead, pretty much every intersection of genre is on the table and seen as for men, except, of course, the aforementioned rom-coms. Well, that's not true. There are a lot of men. We don't call them men movies. We call them action flicks. You're right. We don't have one that has some kind of reference to men in the genre title. That doesn't make the genres any less valid. Rom-coms are romantic comedies, and they do tend to be chick flicks. Why? Because chicks are the one who want to see them. Why? Because they're made for fucking women. They're made to play to women, you fucking moron. Okay, next. The term also cheapens the work that goes into making these type of films. Romantic comedies and or films centered around female lead go through just as much editing, consideration, and rewriting as any other film. Okay, it doesn't cheapen them. Calling it a chick flick doesn't cheapen them. But, okay, let's be honest. Here's what happens in every goddamn rom-com. Everyone. There's a woman who doesn't like a man for some reason. They eventually like each other. He does something that makes her not like him again. And then he, at the very end, comes rushing to her, begging for her forgiveness, and they have a happily ever after. Now, you can write that any way you want to, but that is the general template for all of them. For all of them. And look, I like rom-coms. I do. I like chick flicks, most of them. But it's not just about having a female lead, dumbass. It could be argued that in a lot of these films, it's a co-lead. It's diverse. But let's not pretend that it's not an easily followed template. You just have to change the scenery. Oh, look, she's getting mail. I don't get this. I really don't. Anyway, and nicknaming films chick flicks drives home that there's something trivial about watching them. Well, what's trivial about watching a film that makes you feel 1,000 emotions in 90 minutes? Nobody's driving home that they're trivial. I mean, you can take that idea with anything. Oh, that's just sci-fi. That's just an action film. It's just got stuff that blows up in it. Don't pretend that movies aren't waved off by people who don't like them all the time. But because it's, oh, you said chick flick, how dare you? How dare you? And then overall, there's nothing inherently gendered about liking a lighthearted film with a strong female lead and emotional arc. So next time you call something a chick flick, you better be referring to Chicken Run.
I like chick flicks.
So do I. Thank you. This is Netflix bitching about chick flicks.
I saw that. I happen to spend a lot of time not working today.
Man. My guess is whoever's running Netflix films is either a giant raging pussy of a man or a chick with blue hair.
Yeah, it might have started as a tiny little joke. Then he realized, oh my God, I'm getting attention, positive attention from people who can and will affect my job. I guess I'll run with it.
The idea that naming them chick flicks is trivial. No, it's not. Yeah, some people say it with dismissiveness, but I like chick flicks. I like rom-coms. I do. They're mindless fun.
Yeah, they really are. Like one of my favorite movies. I consider Overboard to be a chick flick.
Oh, I love Overboard, the original. I haven't seen the remake.
I will not watch the remake. I like Anna Faris just fine, but ugh.
Look, one of my favorite movies is How to Lose a Guy in 10 Dates.
For some reason, I assumed that was one of your favorite movies.
I do. I love it. It's fucking stupid as hell, but I love it. And it's actually like, it is so misandristic.
Oh, yes, it is.
I mean, at the end of it, if you guys haven't seen the movie, I'm going to ruin it for you. Sorry. What happens is, what's his name? The dude.
God, I like him.
McConaughey.
Yeah,
McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey. There you are.
Matthew McConaughey and Goldie Hawn's daughter. I forget her name, but God, she's
Kate Hudson.
Kate Hudson. Thank you. They work at different companies, and she works for a magazine, and she's trying to write a story about how to lose a guy in 10 dates, because she has this friend who's what's the word I'm looking for here? Crazy bitch. Keeps driving men away. And he works for an advertising firm.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and
it's been a while since I've seen it.
Yeah, his company is somehow related to her company. I don't even fucking remember. But he bets his friends that he can, date her. Not fuck her, just date her. Meanwhile, she's actually going out of her way to be horrible to this man. Just absolutely horrible. And at the end of the movie, he's the one that has to apologize.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Because he made a bet.
He didn't do anything wrong. I mean, if I bet my friends I can date you, how is that wrong? How's that any different than me just dating you?
Because you're not really interested in her. You wanted to show somebody that you could capture her and make her yours.
And
I know that's logic escapes most people. Apparently,
it's absolutely asinine, and the fact that he has to come cowering to her is bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I like the movie. It's a fun movie.
It is. It actually made me like Kate Hudson because I was always a little weary of her.
Yeah, I don't know if I've even seen her in anything else, but
you saw My Best Friend's Girlfriend with Dane Cook and
no, I haven't. I don't watch Dane Cook.
It's actually an okay movie. With him aside, his acting's not terrible, and the rest of the film is just funny.
Yeah, just seeing him on a box will make me go, no. No. And it's not like I hate his politics or anything, guys. I just think the man's not funny and he can't act.
He's got kind of piss poor timing.
He's horrible, man.
Yeah.
He only became really famous because drunk frat boys are drunk. Everything sounds funnier when you're drunk off your ass. And if you actually watch, oh look, he's screaming again. And he doesn't scream like Kennison did. And even Kennison went over the top way too often.
Kennison gave me a headache, but he was funny at least.
Yeah, and his timing was good with what he was doing, and what he was screaming was funny. And Cook just wasn't. He was a horrible imitation of Kennison. Anyway, yeah, most rom-coms, they're bitching here. The term cheapens what goes into making these type of films. They have just as much editing, consideration, and rewriting as any other film. Nobody said they didn't. Nobody said they didn't. Calling it a fucking rom-com, calling a rom-com a chick flick doesn't diminish any of that. Any more than saying, oh God, that's just sci-fi does. Saying, oh, that's just sci-fi. I'm not into sci-fi. Sci-fi's for nerds.
And yet, one of the strongest movies that most people love starred a female, and it was called Aliens.
Well, yeah, but no. Look, we're talking about rom-coms right now and how
Mm.
calling something a chick flick is hurtful. That's where we fucking are, man. I'm sorry to make those noises like that, but sometimes, guys, my brain is just like, you have nothing else in your fucking life to bitch about. Nothing else in your life to bitch about. But to take and look, if you're just some asshole on the internet, I don't really like that they call them chick flicks. I'd be like, you're a fucking moron.
I don't care that you don't like they're called chick flicks. It's the easiest way to identify what kind of movie you're about to walk into.
This is a major film company. They're a major film company now. They were up for an Oscar this year. Out there bitching because people use the term chick flick. Suck my dick. Johnny Hellcat says chick flicks are marketed more towards women. They absolutely are.
Mm-hmm.
They are made to appeal to women. That's why it's always a woman who's the one who's wronged. That's why no matter what the man did, at the end of the movie, he's the one that has to come apologize to her.
Do we even have a genre pointed at just like called men, like a guy film? I think the frat films was closest, like American Pie, stuff like that.
There's actually one of their bitches in here is that there isn't one called man movies.
All right. They're called action films starring Stallone in the 90s.
Yeah. I mean, just because it's called an action film doesn't mean they're absolutely marketed towards men. Women don't typically rent Die Hard. Well, nobody rents anymore. But when movie renting was a thing, it's not like women went out, I got to see Die Hard again. That's a dude thing. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
You fucking pussy. You goddamn pussy. What kind of pussified world are we building, man?
Jack G says, movies are written for women because the men are out working. So I like you, Jack.
No, but it's fucking retarded. Oh my God, they call it chick flicks, and it's a dismissive term. You know what makes it even more dismissive? Some asshole writing a fucking, what was it, six post thread about this shit. Fuck off. Just go fuck right off. What? How in the hell am I in this? Somehow this thread has people talking that I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So that's why guys, I told you I wanted to talk about Bernie, and we will. But I saw this right before we went to air, and I was like, that's fucking retarded.
Use the R word.
I know. I'm not afraid to use the R word.
I'm not. I use it to describe anything I think is absolutely stupid and stunted.
Now, I will say I don't use the term on Twitter because I did get slapped once for that. And in fairness, I provoked it.
Well, that's just retarded, though.
Well, look, I didn't say anything I thought was bad, but once you get in trouble for something, doing it again might get your account banned, and I don't want my account banned. And I know there's people, you have to fight the power. You knock yourself out. You get yourself banned. I'm not going to do that. You fight the power. I'm going to be over here enjoying what I can with the limited word use they give me.
I'm a little worried what would happen to you if you lost your Twitter again. The last time you kind of went into a dark place.
Well, I get upset. I do. Because I feel like I didn't do anything wrong. The last time, by the way, was when I called somebody a dick and I got a 12-hour slap. And I felt like that was no big deal.
Oh, well, the last major time. How about that?
The last major time, I don't even remember what kicked that one off.
I don't know what you did. I know it was stupid, but you were gone for like 72 hours.
No, I was gone for a week. Was it only 7? No, it was a week.
Was it a week? I thought it was only 3 days.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
That's when my cousin was kind enough to tell people what I had to say.
You have a great cousin, Wink.
He's a great, he's awesome, man. He's awesome. But yeah, I don't mind it if look, If I did something major, fine. But calling somebody a retard who's literally asking me to call him a retard. I mean, he wasn't literally asking. He was asking for it. He got upset because I used the word retard.
It's not necessarily a slur. It's a descriptive word.
Well, he insisted that I was lumping all people with disabilities into the category for retard.
No.
I'm like, no, I'm not, you fucking retard. I'm just calling you a retard. It has nothing to do with you being, physically disabled. By the way, I was talking to a disabled person at the time. Ranting Monkey, I think you have a Twitter addiction. No, actually, it's imperative to having a YouTube career. It just
Especially
is.
in the format/not format that we do here.
You cannot. Well, you can grow as a creator, but you have to get very, very lucky.
Or have somebody else tweet you out.
Yeah. Twitter is it's a necessary evil. If you got a total ban on Twitter, you would need to make videos to express yourself. No, my cousin, I'm sure, would help me out. He's a good guy.
Yeah, good dude.
Angry Monkey, he's a really nice guy. Brian says, I am permabanned from Twitter. Yeah, I know a lot of people who are. And there's a lot of people, you shouldn't censor yourself. And look, you have to. I mean, this is my job. And so there's things that if YouTube decided to crack down on certain things, I would have to fall in line. People, you can't do that. Like, okay, go to your job and just talk about dicks all day and see how well your boss likes it. Like it or not. Yeah, that's the part people don't understand. I mean, this is a job for several of us, and whether we like it or not, sometimes they crack down, and we have to fall in line.
You know what happens if your cousin's account go down? You're gonna have to have your uncle help you out. In which case, wouldn't it be Monkey's uncle?
No, I'd have my other cousin. I got a lot of cousins, man. A lot of cousins.
I think the joke went right over your head.
No, I got the joke.
Right.
I purposefully ignore that joke.
You are supposed to throw me a bone occasionally. I mean, this is the first half hour. Come on.
You gotta give me a better bone. I'll give you a better bone sometime later. How about that? I'll bone you later.
All right. But I do have a funny thing I just thought of.
Okay.
You know the Angry Monkey thing? There is actually a character in the Invader Zim universe called Angry Monkey.
Is there?
Yeah. I should actually find you a picture. It's hilariously scary.
My cousin would appreciate hearing that. So Backscan says you got the joke, you just didn't want it.
Send it back.
Blunty says, good advice, Ranting Monkey, but I don't want to. I've been avoiding it like the plague, but okay, I give. If you're talking about Twitter, look, you don't have to. People make a mistake on Twitter of taking it way too seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Way too seriously. And it doesn't have to be that way. I get away with saying all kinds of shit I probably shouldn't be allowed to say on Twitter. Twitter is pretty lax about a lot of the stuff that you can say. You can insult people. You can absolutely insult them. You can't follow them for days insulting them over and over again. That's when you get into trouble. But if so, now I do need to back that up because apparently telling them they're as sensitive as a clit is an immediate ban. Or sorry, not ban, suspension.
Don't understand why, but
calling them a retard is an immediate suspension. And that one they didn't actually tell me if it was just the one tweet or all of them. Yeah, the guy blocked me after he reported me, and then he tweeted back at me. He must have unblocked me and tweeted back at me, "Why did you erase all that?" I'm like, I didn't. If you can't see it, it's because you blocked me, you fucking moron. Actually, I might have called him a fucking retard again. Yeah, he goes, I could report you. I told him, I go, fucking do it. Stop being a pussy and threatening. Just fucking do it. And he did. And he got to feel good about himself for a couple of days. He's still a retard, though.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's got to live with the rest of his life. But okay, let's talk about Bernie. Bernie released his taxes today, man.
Yes, he did.
Which, I've seen that picture before. Dax just sent me the picture of Angry Monkey, guys.
Angry Monkey.
I didn't know that's who it was though. But I want to reiterate this because I've said it many times. I don't think politicians should have to release their taxes.
Agreed.
None of our fucking business.
Nope.
Doesn't affect me one way or the other. However,
Mhm.
if they're going to,
Mhm.
then we can talk about it. Then it's perfectly. I mean, it's you're the one telling me. You're the one telling me what you made and how you spent it as much as we can see. I thought I had the story already pulled up. Sorry. I don't want the New York Times one. I won't be able to read it. There we go. Bernie Sanders releases 10 years of tax returns, showing how his 2016 presidential run vaulted him into wealth. It's really funny the other day after he told that reporter, whoever it was, that you could be a millionaire too if you wrote a best-selling book. He suddenly changed his phrasing because it had always been that he thought millionaires and billionaires should pay their taxes or their share. And he specifically that time said billionaires. He left off the millionaires part.
Yeah.
And I'll explain why in a minute. Senator Bernie, I was going to call him Barry Sanders. That's a football player.
Yep.
Bernie Sanders on Monday released a decade of tax returns, providing new insight into how the Democratic Socialist senator from Vermont became a millionaire between his two presidential runs. According to returns provided by his campaign, Sanders and his wife Jane's bottom line jumped from $240,622 in 2015, the year he launched his first White House bid, to $1,073,333 a year later. As the once obscure lawmaker became a political sensation on the left and a best-selling author with royalties pouring in. I wasn't having a stroke there, guys. My mouth just didn't catch up with what I was reading. Since that first run, Sanders and his wife made a total of more than $2.7 million, putting them in the category of the super rich. Sanders in a statement said the returns, quote, show that our family has been very fortunate. Quote, I consider paying more in taxes as my income rose to be both an obligation and an investment in our country, he added. I will continue to fight to make our tax system more progressive so that our country has the resources to guarantee the American dream to all people. All right. So, I haven't read his taxes. I've just been going through the news stories about it. And here's some of the interesting parts. Sanders reported a total of $566,421 in 2018, $382,000 of which came from writing and royalties. The rest is from his Senate salary, guys.
Mm.
The document showed he paid $137,000 in federal taxes in 2018 and owed $8,267 in taxes for the year. Pay your taxes, Bernie. Sanders reported paying a 26% effective tax rate on his adjusted gross income. The couple reported donating $18,950 to charity.
Oh.
Okay. This is why you don't release your taxes, Bernie. This is why. You made more than $500,000. After taxes, you still had over $400,000, $429,000. That's what you had after taxes. And you paid $18,000 to charity?
I think you're missing the word only.
Now look, as a capitalist, you can do whatever the fuck you want with your money. I want to be clear here. I'm not arguing from my perspective. I'm not arguing from my financial perspective. I'm asking Bernie, as somebody who believes that rich people need to do more. Why in the fuck did you donate less than 5% of your income to charity? Less than 5% of your take-home income to charity. You douchebag. You greedy fuck. Can you imagine if Trump's taxes come out and it shows that he paid less than 5% of his money into charity, what they'll call him?
Probably the orange monster.
You motherfucker. Now, I want to go back to something he said. I consider paying more in taxes as my income rose to be both an obligation and an investment in our country. Well, one, it's absolutely an obligation. It's the fucking law, you idiot.
It's required.
If you didn't do it, you could go to jail, you dumb motherfucker. But there's a big but here that I haven't seen anybody point out.
Jordan, where?
You are under no obligation to only pay the government what you owe in taxes. Bernie Sanders made 429,000. And that's just off the top of my head. I don't know the exact dollar after that, but it's $429,000 after taxes that he got to bring home. And it's an investment in his country. He could have given 200 more thousand of that to the government. Just been like, here, that's an investment in my country.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in 2015, he lived off of $250,000, you guys. And that's before taxes. That's not even counting what the government took out.
What a struggle.
Yeah. So if he'd given up 200,000 of his dollars, his leftover dollars, to the government, he'd have still had take home almost what he had in 2015 before taxes. But he only gave what he had to, what his obligation was. Mr. The wealthy need to pay more. He didn't need to pay more, apparently. Apparently, we only have to do that once you force everybody to do it, which is the same thing that we see from all of these fuckwads. None of them lead by example. Not a fucking one of them. Connor Johnson, thank you. I hear that Weird Al Yankovic is performing in my home state this June. It would kick ass if I could see him on stage. Yeah, that would be great. That would be awesome, man.
I have a weird story about that.
I don't know. I've never heard anybody who's been to a Weird Al concert to say how good or bad they are.
I tried, and it happened at Summerfest one of these last couple of years, and it was slightly raining out, whatever. So we're like, all right, cool. We're going to go see Skillet first anyway. So we go over to see Skillet, and they don't go out right away. And there's just some other like random band there, and it's going into the time where it's like, all right, time to go see Weird Al. So we're a little depressed we didn't get to see Skillet. So we're like, whatever. We go over to the Weird Al thing. We're standing there in the rain, and it's like an hour later, and nothing's happening. So we're like, oh, okay, great. This is the last thing in the night, and nothing's happening. So we're just going to go. It turns out, after we left the Skillet area, they came out and played. And like 20 minutes after we left the Weird Al thing, he started to play.
Oh, shit.
Wasted vacation.
That sucks, dude.
Yeah, well.
Sanders last year made $110 in music royalties, presumably for his 1987 folk album, We Shall Overcome, and, and an additional $1,810 from his 1997 memoir, Outsider in the House, which was published by Verso. He was paid an additional $391,000 for his books. He has 3 books that he's pulling royalties on for. Remember, it's remember his if you write a bestseller too, that's 3 books that made him a millionaire, not just the one. Bernie, you liar. Again, I don't think he should have released them. There's no reason to. It's none of our business. But once you made it our business, there's very valid questions to ask you about why you are so fucking greedy, you little bitch. You're a greedy little bitch, Bernie. And instead of just coming out and saying that, you want to act like you're some high and mighty motherfucker. I consider it my obligation and an investment. You're a dumbass. You are mildly retarded, and a whole bunch of really, really retarded people follow you. I would hang on to every dollar of that, because your medical bills have got to be going up as old as you are, and you need to take care of yourself. Monkey, Trump will never release his, he says he will when he's not under audit anymore.
Yeah, I don't care if
But
he does or not.
yeah, I don't care if he does. Yeah, I do not give a fuck. They're running. He won't release his taxes. So it makes no difference to me what he does with his fucking money. If he's doing it wrong, yeah, that's for the IRS to figure out. These assholes in the House going, we need to see him. We need to see his. We need to see him because we need to make sure that everybody. Shit, we need an excuse here. Oh yeah, we want to make sure everybody's being treated equally. Like, then why are you only asking for one person's taxes? And there's lots of legislators or legislators who don't release their taxes, who've never released their taxes. They have to fill out a small form as part of their financial disclosures to the House and Senate, but it's not their taxes. They just want to do it because he won't let them. They want to see it because he won't let them see it. And they're convinced, oh, look, y'all, he made millions of dollars. Billions, actually. So who gives a fuck? Did you hear me robot there, Dax?
A little bit.
Okay. Let me know if it gets worse.
Yep.
During his 2016 campaign, Sanders only released 1 year of records from 2014. Sanders recently revealed that his income from book sales in the aftermath of that race has made him a millionaire. Still, he remains one of the least wealthy members of the Senate. CNN, could you suck his balls any harder? Yeah, so it's fuck. I don't care that what he made. I do care that he's one trying to spin it as though he had a choice in what he paid. I consider it an obligation. Yeah, that's because you're legally obligated to do it, you stupid shit. You didn't go, nobody's making me do this, but I feel obligated to. Like, no, it's literally the fucking law. Dax, man. These people hurt my head.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? People will come up and be like, look, he paid his fair share. Like, well, not according to what he thinks rich people should pay. Suddenly that's enough. Suddenly that's plenty to pay for being rich. It's okay to only give less than $20,000 of a $400,000 take home to charity. You greedy motherfucker. While you whine about the super rich. Anyhow, Notre Dame burned down today.
Saw that.
I mentioned this on Lords and I don't really care.
Oof.
No, here's the thing. I'm not attached to old buildings and old things. There's very few things that if something happened to them and there wasn't a huge loss of life, that I would, be like, damn shame that's gone. Stephen Sperling, thank you so much. Notre Dame is less than Monkey in the Morning episodes. Ouch. Poor Notre Dame. Look, I don't hate the place. I don't think it's great that it burned down. But one, they'll be able to rebuild it as it is. But as long as nobody's hurt, I mean, it's just a fucking building. I mentioned on the show tonight, even the Twin Towers, for me, it was a loss of life there. The buildings themselves, I don't give a fuck about those. Growing up, when I was little, everybody talked about the Empire State Building. So that to me is like a big symbol of America. So if something happened to that, I'd probably be like, damn. But as long as nobody's hurt, it's just a building.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, it's a wonderful piece of art that we lost.
Sure. But with that said, I do want to say there's people out there who are being complete jackasses about this, who are gloating about, it burned.
Assholes.
Look, I'm not happy it burned either. How many died? As far as I know, nobody yet. There's been no loss of life. I did hear that a firefighter was injured. I'm not sure how. Selma Hayek's husband said he will donate 100 million to help rebuild it. Cool. There's
Nice.
a lot of people. This will be rebuilt. That's not a problem. It'll be built. And Scribe mentioned this. This is one of the places in the world that has been photographed and scanned more than any other. They will be able to build it exactly like it was, which is great for those who want to see the art and everything. We lost the old art because it burned. It was timbers.
Goddamn colonials, though. Who cares?
The other thing is, there's a lot of people rushing to blame others. Nobody knows how this started. Nobody knows how it started. So let's hold off on the rumors till we hear something from investigators. No, Stephen, there's no way to get that monkey in the morning back. It's gone
forever.
Yeah. Do you think the Catholic craftsmen will make pilgrimages to help rebuild? I don't know. I don't know, but I'm sure it will. The rebuilding will happen pretty quickly, and yeah, it should be fine. I am glad nobody got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of people like, oh man, Notre Dame burned, and I've seen a lot of people I've never seen ever mention Notre Dame. It's now the biggest thing in their life, and okay, I mean, look, I understand. I understand it's an architectural masterpiece, I guess is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful building, but it's a building. What was good to see the French firefighters didn't surrender. Oh my God. Fuzzy. That's not nice.
It's funny though.
Beautiful art, respectful workmanship. We still have to have the knowledge to rebuild it, unlike going to the moon. No, it is great that they'll be able to rebuild it. I just don't feel the loss that so many seem to. But what happened to the Hunchback? Look, man, he got Esmeralda. They're banging in London right now. As long as we don't lose the Hunchback, yes. Let's see. I'm just so grateful my father was able to take me there as an older teenager. That's cool, Blunty. And look, people will be able to take their kids there, and they'll be able to still make pilgrimage there. There's a lot of it that's still okay. I mean, that just might need cleaned, and the roof will have to be completely rebuilt. Mourning the loss of a piece of history is not something we do for ourselves, but for future generations. Yeah, okay, I get that. But do you know how many things have been lost to history that nobody will ever even know? Losing a piece of art or something to history, I mean, it's in the grand scheme of things kind of meaningless. And I know that's going to upset some people. I just said Notre Dame is meaningless, but it really is. I mean, if we lost, if France falls off the continent, goes underwater, everything's absolutely destroyed, it's all turned to rubble. 2,000 years from now, that's not going to affect the people at all. One, if they want to see it, I mean, like I said, there are a few buildings that have been photographed, and that building's actually been scanned. Every nook and cranny of it. So yeah, they can literally rebuild it from scratch if they had to. To say the loss of art is meaningless is the same as suggesting that art is meaningless. Art is meaningless. It's absolutely meaningless. It's something we do to impress ourselves. If art has meaning, why do so many artists who become famous after they die starving? Like, if their art has so much meaning, why weren't they rich and famous when they painted it?
It's beautiful.
No. Yeah, look, I would not a penny to your name. I'm not saying it's not something we can enjoy, but what if we use Scribe's moon base to Xerox the entire world? That'd be cool.
I mean, I'd approve of that.
Why not?
Sounds neat.
Monkey do sound very American. I am very American.
Thank you would be the right word there.
Absolutely. America, bitch. Sorry. Damn thing wouldn't light. That's a brand new lighter, asshole.
Damn.
Again, I just don't have a. The only place I've ever been where I could say I felt the history. Have you ever been to Gettysburg?
Yeah.
You walk there and it's just like you can feel what happened there. But if somebody built a mall there, it's not going to change the history. It's not going to change what happened. I mean, art is representative of history. Is it? Is it?
Yeah, kind of.
Which art? Which art? Define art for me. And I'm not being mean, Jack. I'm being serious. This is going to sound so condescending. A picture painted by a 6-year-old is art. And some of it, for the record, looks just as good as some impressionist art. Vomit Sausage, thank you so much. Stacy Dash Time, Monkey. I love me some Stacy. We'll pull her up in a minute. Porn is the best art. I mean, look. Sharknado is technically art. But it's fucking Sharknado. We attach too much importance to art. We really do. So you're okay with removing all Confederate statues. If you're removing them, I in the grand scheme of things, removing statues doesn't really affect me. I just hate the idea of removing statues because of virtue signaling bullshit. If you're doing it because, hey, we need this space to build a new school, fine. If you're doing it because, oh my God, here's a Confederate soldier, then go fuck yourself. Frosted Glass, 7 years ago, we put a DQ in the food court. That's right, bitch. That's right. Yeah, if you've ever been, I've never been to anywhere where there was a Revolutionary War battle, but if you've been to Civil War battle sites, man, and Gettysburg specifically, oh my God, it's just like this weight you feel when you go there. Polly's probably gonna disagree with me on this.
Probably.
You don't know that.
I know you, I think.
Oh.
I'm arguing that in the grand scheme of things, art is meaningless.
Are you now? I've asked you if you think you're a contrarian before, and you said no. Are you sure?
I'm pretty positive, yeah.
You disagree with me on that, huh?
I'm disagreeing with you on whether or not I'm a contrarian. Yes. No. Now hear me out, Polly. Hear me out.
Oh, all right.
It's not that I don't think art is wonderful and some of it's really beautiful to look at. Like just pointed out, movies are art, music is art, but 100 years. Well, let's go further. 1,000 years from now, if all of the art we have right now had been wiped away 500 years prior, it wouldn't hurt that society at all. It's not like we're losing math or literature or science. Those things affect how we live and how we move forward. Art is something we do to amuse ourselves. You want to disagree with me, don't you?
Yeah, I was. Or was that it?
Yeah. I told you were going to disagree with me.
Well, no, because we're in. Now, shit. I'm trying to think of a way of saying this without referencing something.
Reference whatever you need to.
All right. So back when I was studying philosophy in undergrad, that one of the things that professors try and pound home to you is really important, that all discussions, especially in and around law, logic, and ethics, because they tend to be very contentious, define your terms. And it's a long, boring, tedious process. But you're going to find out if you define your terms that the majority of arguments are disagreements over definition, not actual positional differences. If you're defining art, and why the hell do I bring that up? Well, if you're defining art as cause for amusement, and you're defining these other things as cause for, I don't know, for the sake of a better term, let's say advancement or knowledge building.
That's what I would do for advancement. Yeah.
On that basis, I would agree with you then. Yeah. But I don't agree with those definitions. If we were to just sort of like hypothetically accept those as definitions, yes, then okay, you're right. Art doesn't matter in the grand scheme because you're talking about temporary amusement. Does that matter as much as cause for advancement? No, I don't think it does.
Andrew says literature's art. Yeah, I probably should have said written language is what I'm more apt.
I'm assuming when you said literature, I took it in its broadest, most charitable interpretation, meaning like the ability for the written word. Yeah,
that's what I meant, and I said it wrong. You're correct to correct me, Jack. Not at the moment, but this is art, monkey. It's what you do. Absolutely. And if nobody can hear these words 100 years from now, it's not going to matter. It's not going to matter.
Yeah, but you're talking about temporary amusement doesn't matter. Have you really said something very profound in saying that? I mean, yeah, and
I don't get your point. There. That makes my point. It's not like I consider myself above all this. I'm more than art. I'm not. I'm here to fucking entertain. That's what I'm here for.
Right.
I'm not putting myself above anything else, which I believe was the point there. Is that, hey, what about you? What about me? I am a speck of dust in a world of sand, man.
But I mean, okay, you say you didn't understand what I meant by that. Your position, tell me if this is an unfair, succinct way of stating what you're saying.
Sure.
Art for the sake of temporary amusement, which describes the majority of art, is insignificant compared to things that change people's lives and are much more solid and can be part of the body of knowledge.
Sure.
Yeah, but okay, so what? Yeah, and I don't understand. It's like saying a pinprick is not as injurious as a gaping head wound. Yeah,
maybe it'll give you some context because of what we were talking about. I was saying I don't feel anything's really lost with Notre Dame.
Oh, Jesus Christ! That's what you're so wrong.
Am I? How so?
Well, do you? I mean, in what way? I mean, there's so much lost with Notre Dame that, like, I can't even start with one category. Alone, it's been there for what, 830 odd, whatever the fuck. Someone can correct me and tell me I'm wrong. 12th century.
Okay.
I mean, just historical things are important to a cultural sense of continuity, for one. Two, something from the past that's either be it a religious relic is obviously irreplaceable. Something that's a piece of art from the past that's one of a kind is irreplaceable. Records that haven't been duplicated nor copied are irreplaceable. So there's three categories of things that are all irreplaceable. Those are obviously lost and cannot be brought back again. And we've barely scratched the surface of all the things that are lost. So to say that it's transitory entertainment, I mean, I got it.
And if all of those things were lost, let's say that was completely destroyed today, right?
Mm-hmm.
And could never be recreated, which it can be, but could never be recreated. How would that affect people 1,000 years from now?
So you're attempting to take a super long view on this?
Okay. How would it affect people 100 years from now?
Well, you're trying to take a longer than someone's lifespan view on this, I guess I should say.
Okay. 50 years from now.
That somebody who wanted to go on a pilgrimage to Notre Dame could no longer do so.
So they couldn't entertain themselves.
Let's say that we parse out and set aside religious meaning for now.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not going at this from the religious side because there's
an
easier way to do that.
I mean, there's another. I'm looking at another separate discussion that I think
strictly from the historical art perspective. That this is a piece of architectural arts,
right? I mean, if you're attempting to,
I'm going to be able to back all of this up in just a few minutes. I just want to point that out.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, do I think you say what is lost. Well, the thing comes to whom. Let's say that we're not talking in a religious context. We're talking purely in a, let's say, artistic context, like art, paintings, stained glass, etc., sculpture.
Sure.
Works of art are a work of a given artist that are singular. And therefore, when they're lost, no other artist can see them nor appreciate them, nor can any lay person appreciate them or see them. So therefore, yeah, something is absolutely lost. I think something is lost when Muslim extremists blow up an ancient temple to a religion that no longer exists or barely exists anymore. I think something's lost there. Okay. Something that predates the current extant civilization, and it's blown to pieces. I think it's a goddamn shame. It depends on what level of tragedy you're talking about. Is it the same as an entire civilization being wiped out? Probably not, but that doesn't mean it's not a tragedy of a variety.
I see what you're saying. What I'm getting at, though, is that it's not going. It's not as meaningful as we give it meaning. We give it meaning because it's part of our history right now. And it's like, oh, it's so old. Okay, what does the age of it mean?
You mean, all right, I can only offer my personal opinion.
Please do.
We are embodied beings that are mortal. We only have a certain amount of time on this earth and then we die. That being the case, but with that said, our psychology does not conform to that. We think larger than ourselves because we can conceive of a time before we're born and a time after we're dead. It leads to an inevitability of depression to think of yourself as a being that's only alive for a certain amount of time, and then you end up as worm food. So nothing you do matters because eventually the universe is going to go through heat death, et cetera, et cetera. This is part of our innate hardwired need to connect ourselves to something larger than ourselves. One of the myriad ways human beings do that is by looking at things on a long timeline. I'm part of this religious tradition. I'm part of this culture. I'm part of this thing. There's a longevity in that. I'm a connecting tendril in this long stream of things. And to see things that were extant a long time before you were here and will continue to be here after you're gone, that your kids will have a chance to appreciate, that your grandfather appreciated. That gives you a place in the world. It gives you meaning. It gives you understanding of who you are beyond soon to be worm food. Therefore, importance and meaning is derived through it, through a sense of history, because a sense of history gives you a sense of future.
Okay. I see what you're saying. It's a weird argument especially for our country, because the vast majority of our country doesn't think they're just going to be worm food. They believe in an afterlife. Now, I don't, and I know you don't, but the vast majority of them do. So
who said I don't?
Well, I was guessing by what you just said.
We agreed to leave the religious stuff aside for now. I said, so that's why I made it a psychological argument.
Okay. Would you, okay, whether you do or not, the majority of America absolutely does. You'd agree
Fair
with
enough.
that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No argument.
So the idea that, that would be, existentially, I'm going to stop existing. So therefore it gives importance, that doesn't hold weight to me. But there's so many things that we're just finding now that are part of our history that don't affect any of us at all. And one of my favorite examples is the Göbekli Tepe find. This turns out to be a major archaeological find of human importance. I mean, it actually rewrote the history books when it was found, because, I mean, they have art and architecture in this old temple that nobody knew existed. Nobody knew it existed. And this is what I'm telling you. If somebody doesn't know something existed, it doesn't impact their life at all. This was a major part of a literal major part of human history that nobody knew about until 2 years ago.
Right.
Does Does the fact that it was there, did that do something for us? It was a piece of art, a piece of architecture even. What I'm saying is if something is lost completely, it's not going to matter. It's not going to matter.
Well,
You're a goddamn nihilist.
I would, well, yeah, I hear you.
I'm not.
I would offer the argument that, like, it's like you're talking about, like, somebody chat, by the way, right now, like, it's like I'm trying to listen to what Monkey's saying, but there's so many great things being said in chat. Like, Jesus Christ, there's some really sharp shit going on there. Like, how does it affect your particular life that Notre Dame is gone? Like, your life particularly? Well, and other things, like, Jesus Christ, there's a lot of sharp shit going on right now. Anyway, the Monkey, I think that you're making your argument a little too expansive. Somebody was not aware of this particular trove of archaeological items. So
yes.
how can one say it had meaning to your life prior to 24 months ago when we didn't know it existed? Yeah. Now all of a sudden there's added meaning to it. There's gained and lost luster to meaning. You're making it sound like the loss of Notre Dame is like an existential wipeout of meaning, where the meaning has disappeared. No, it's just lost its shine. Some of its shine has been dulled. Some of the meaning, some of the, if all of one's history, all of the cultural history of something has been wiped out, then that sucks. And that is an incalculable loss. This is also an incalculable loss, because how could you possibly render a numeric value for it, like the loss of Notre Dame, I mean, but it is a loss. Meaning has been lost. The placed object in the world has been lost.
I'm saying in the overall scheme of things, it's meaningless. What matters is us, the people.
But isn't it important to history, though?
Well, maybe. Is it?
It proved that we could do it, for one.
Well, going back to Göbekli Tempe, we could do it thousands of years before historians thought we could, because of the way the human history changed with the loss of this place. We did it again anyway. Look, my point, the reason, Polly, I kept going 1,000 years into the future is because, yes, it would take some time for it to like leave the lexicon, for people to stop, for the Hunchback of Notre Dame to fall out of any meaning, as books do, guys. They just do. So by then, you get to a place where the people are just like, oh, look, that's where the Dairy Queen is. Let's go to the Dairy Queen, not let's go to the Dairy Queen where Notre Dame used to be.
Oh, God, if they build a Dairy Queen on Notre Dame's.
Well, they're not. They're going to rebuild Notre Dame. But
I know, but it'd be funny.
It would be. They should have a Starbucks in there. I'm not somebody who puts a great deal of importance on art or buildings or possessions. I just don't.
I find it interesting that you ended that statement with possessions.
Sure.
There are objects that possess a value outside of their financial value, outside of their possessive value.
Sure.
Sacred objects come to mind, historical objects, artistic objects. Like, really, you take something like, I don't know, the Mona Lisa or what have you. It's just pigments on a canvas. The actual, financial value is quite low, but it's a priceless piece of art because of its history and the way that people see it. Yeah, it's the culture that gives it meaning, but to remove I find it interesting that you don't agree with the idea of cultural touchstones. You say we're important. I agree. It is us ultimately that's important, but art is often defined as a repository of meaning. If you do not have the repositories, then the meaning can't exist either.
But don't they change? Don't the norms of society, especially when it comes to what is art, don't those change? I mean, again, I asked this earlier. You weren't here for that. What is art? What defines art? What defines a piece of art that is worth saving and one that's, fuck it, let that one burn? Is it age?
No.
If you can come in all its entirety, repaint the Mona Lisa, what makes the Mona Lisa so special?
You know what? It's ironic that I'm going to be the one to say this, because I'm going to start it by saying, like, hit your definitions tight. I remember taking the philosophy of art in undergrad, and it is a dramatically fuzzy category, to the point where I would say let's avoid defining art because it is so difficult to do cleanly. I think we all have a vague understanding as cultural animals what we mean by art, and there's things that fall within the boundaries where it's like, I don't know if you can really call that art. Like, if you nail a hubcap to a canvas, is that art? It's either a fucking waste of time or art. You know what I mean? I think we should avoid trying to define art because it's really hard to do.
Exactly.
I agree with you that it's hard to do. So, but I think we understand when something fits into the category of art cleanly, even though we don't know why. So for the sake of this conversation, why don't we just move forward without a definition? I realize there's irony. I'm the one saying that. But
with what you said there, I don't agree that what we see is art. There's a lot of things that I'm told are art, and I'm like, that's garbage. The fuck? Yeah. Who did that? Looks like somebody threw up on a canvas. What are you talking about?
That's exactly what I meant when I said there's things that fit on the boundary, and it's a fuzzy boundary. I agree.
No, these are things that people that are well-known pieces of art. Real quick, Jack asked, seriously, would Rancing Monkey have a problem with burning books? And if so, why? Literature is functionally the same as art you're deriding. Okay. I would have a problem with burning books in certain circumstances. You guys might not know this, people who are against burning books. Books get destroyed all the time. All the time. You know what happens to a book if it doesn't sell? They destroy it. Do I have a problem with that? No. I have a problem with burning books if you're doing it because you have a problem with the speech in the book. Because that's not about the book. It's about compressing speech, keeping free speech to me is more valuable than fucking any book, art, anything. And when they burn books, they're not doing it because, oh, we have an excess of books, or fuck it, we're cold, we need to burn these books. They're doing it when you talk about a book burning, it's to silence a voice specifically. That is to shut someone up because you don't like what they said. And that is absolutely different than burning it because, look, we have way too many copies of 50 Shades of Grey.
We do, though.
I have no problem if you want to burn your copy of 50 Shades of Grey because you realize, wow, this is a really horrible book and I don't need it anymore.
Have you read it?
Anyhow, I think this might have pissed people off more than Marty and his mom. No, I just think in the grand scheme of things, if all art today was lost 1,000 years from now, you know what? They'd have their own art that meant nothing to today's art. Because it's a short-term thing that we give meaning to. It doesn't have meaning in and of itself. History is doomed to repeat itself, Ranting Monkey. Without history being captured by art, how will we learn? History? You can have history books without art in them. I've seen them. Oh, no, I have no way or no problem with burning the book nobody wants. Way to address the point I wasn't making at all. You asked if I would be okay with burning books. I have no problem with it in certain contexts.
Right. And the most charitable interpretation of that would be silencing a voice because they're Jews, for example. This is Jewish literature, so let's get rid of them. The least charitable interpretation would be burning extra copies of 50 Shades of Grey. You went for the latter, not the former.
I talked about both. Bullshit. I talked about both.
Well, don't get uppity with me. I'm just saying.
You just said that when I only concentrated really on one. I didn't.
Why even focus? Why even address the least charitable interpretation? Where's the value in that?
Because the whole point was he was trying to make it. Oh, why? The whole point of the question was that this is art. Why wouldn't you be okay with it?
Do you really think the point he was making was about extra 50 Shades of Grey copies?
I think he didn't think about what he was asking. I didn't write his question.
So therefore, you chose to nitpick the form instead of just taking the most charitable interpretation.
Okay, so if I just
manning at the least.
Time out. No, right? It's not. No, it's not. If I just answered yes, I'm okay with book burning, that would have been technically correct, right?
Say it again. I didn't catch that.
If I said yes, I was okay with book burning, would that be technically correct?
I understand what you're getting at. Yeah.
But is that a full answer? Does that actually answer the question he was asking?
Well, people in chat are limited by what they can type and what they can't, and full paragraph questions that specify the type of book burning is a little much to ask of somebody rapidly trying to type before their statement scrolls off the screen. Now I'm done.
Literature is functionally the same as the art you're deriding, is how he finished that question.
Literature is functionally the same as the art you're deriding.
Yes. So the question is whether or not I'm okay with burning art.
Okay, I see the point, I guess.
And yes, in some context, I have no problem with burning art. My problem with burning it comes when it's done to keep voices silent, not just because there's too many, or even, look, this is the last copy. Nobody cares about it. I'm going to set it on fire. I wouldn't care about that. Just saying.
I'm curious. What?
Sure.
You know who I think about in this situation?
Who's that?
Rabbinic Jews.
Okay.
They have their temple destroyed in what, 70 AD by the Romans in Jerusalem.
Like
Yeah, something.
It turns into a conceptual cultural touchstone for them. And the last remaining part of it, Western Wall, Wailing Wall, the outer retaining structure of it, becomes of extreme significance. But it becomes about the rebuilding of the temple for rabbinical Jews. And there are now 3 distinct temples, the Visionary one, Solomon's Temple, and then the third temple, or the one that was destroyed temple. That's not technically a third temple. Anyway, so the Temple of Notre Dame gets burned down. Does it become, what I think about is not so much the depth of meaning and what is art and so forth. And not that these aren't valuable discussions. It's just my mind is focused in on today is, will the Roman Catholics of France see this as a loss to them culturally, or will the response be like it was for Jews, where it actually strengthened them as a community instead of doing what the Romans intended for it to do, which was cause worldwide disillusionment of any kind? Like, we're going to hit you in the worst possible way.
It's going to strengthen, no doubt. I mean, the whole rebuilding of it, and we've already, I don't know if you've seen the pictures, I mean, but there's already, pictures. Look, the cross was saved. This has religious meaning to them.
Right.
That didn't burn. So yeah, this is going to be for lack of a better term, a rallying cry kind of thing, to strengthen them. Yeah, absolutely.
I would hope that was the case, like, because it's
I'm sure it is.
This could be, and I hear you, what you're saying, like, ultimately, is it woods and sticks? Can new sacred objects come out of it? Yep, I think so, ultimately. And the destruction of a thing can ultimately be a good thing, after a long enough time. Or it can be, this was truly the beginning of the end. You know what I mean? For Catholicism in France, that kind of cultural identity, for that depth of meaning that Christianity holds for the French. You know what I mean? I would like to think that it is, as opposed to, fuck it, that's just a bunch of old religious myths bullshit anyway. Like,
most people aren't like me. Seriously, I'm like, fuck it, tear it down, build them all. I think they'll rally around it, and the reopening of Notre Dame, when I wonder how soon it'll be that they have a service in there. I doubt they'll wait until a roof is even in place. Just as a show of, not really a show of strength.
Resolve.
Yeah, show of strength, but not how we usually hear show of strength. A show of strength in the religion in the faith,
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll probably close it down because they'll have to put a fucking roof on there. You can't have people coming in and out. And then when it reopens, it'll be a huge celebration for them. Absolutely.
Because in spirit, I understand what you're saying. Like, in what matters is us. That's what I really took away from what you were saying.
Absolutely.
And if that is the case, then it's the cultural exercise of building these things and then putting meaning into them. So 1,000 years later, 5-7 generations later, 1,000 years later, even that long, the people who are part of that cultural tradition see where they came from, whence they came and where they're headed, that kind of thing, and build new things and different things and so on. No, nothing's going to last forever, but it can be a harbinger, a bellwether of a given direction that things are going, where it burns down and fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it was old and it was nice and everything, and it certainly supported our tourist industry. But beyond that, no. If the French, if it hits them in such a way, like as that, like, I know the kind of reaction, and this is comparing the most minor of things compared to something as deeply valuable. But let's say Mount Vernon burned down, Washington's homestead. Oh man, that would cut deep. It wouldn't cut as deep as a spiritual loss for me, but that would be like a loss, something that can't be replaced. It depends on what people did from it. It's like, well, we need to save the items from Washington's family and lifetime that we have left, and remember those things, possibly rebuild the structure. This is the rebuilt one on this spot. Or is the reaction, well, good, the slave owner's house burnt down, fuck them.
Can it be something even less dramatic than either of those? How about just, wow, okay, that happened. What's going up next?
Well, if it's a mall that goes up, that's sad. If it's which was the example you gave. If it's a museum of Washington, then it's awesome. So it depends.
Well, see, I'm not a big fan of museums either, especially in today's technological world. I mean, you can literally look through the entire Smithsonian online. Do we need it?
Yes.
Okay,
because I mean, what is it you're showing, if not the Smithsonian? What's the whole point in showing the Smithsonian online? And it kind of speaks to the value of the thing to begin with, that many people want to seek it out online, that it's of that importance. Like it speaks to the historical intrinsic value of these things beyond their monetary value. Why would somebody want to go look at some old pot? Because it came from Athens 1500 years BC. Like, that's pretty fucking awesome. Look, this is how people painted. Isn't that art so dramatically different from ours? Wow, human beings were doing this. Just imagine the person, how long ago it was that this was filled with olive oil. They were pouring it on their salad. This is incredible. There's a sense of longevity that takes us outside the doldrum of daily office life. There's a value to that.
I hear what you're saying. I'm not that way. I think history is an amazing subject. I think we need to know where we came from. And, you know, if you're looking at that pot in a historical sense, in that this is what they used to survive, that's amazing to me. How they painted it, I don't much care.
You know what? You are
what am I now?
You are a person of firmly held opinion, right?
I am.
And you're a person of resolve, which I find impressive. If you were to have some kind of outside of the ordinary, non-mundane experience, some people would call it satori, enlightenment, others might say, some others might call it a chakra moment. Give it a name. I would love to hear you put words to it, because you are a man of resolve and you are somebody who's quite verbose with your opinions. I would love to hear you describe something that was outside of the norm, because you do a very good job of painting the position of what does this matter? You know, we are what we are. We are human beings. We are going to die, and that is the end of it. And you can enjoy your time here, but come on, it's limited. I would love to hear you speak beyond the current life. I would love to hear you speak beyond the extant, what you can touch and feel, and see what would happen if you laid your passions to that. It would be interesting.
For the record, because you just said something that I do slightly disagree with.
Okay.
Because you said we just live our lives and that's it. You know, the end. No, we pass that down through generation, and I think that when I say we are what matters, that's what I mean. So like the scientific advances we've made, that has to keep passing through humans to matter. I mean, if we lost all scientific knowledge, say a weird EMP took all the scientific knowledge off the earth, including out of our brains, that would fuck us, completely fuck us.
Mm-hmm.
But if that same thing did it to, there's an EMP and suddenly nobody remembered Whistler's mother, it's not going to change a fucking thing in the world. That's what I just want to be clear on that. I think what matters is the people and our knowledge and what we pass down, things that, to me, advance humanity. And I look, guys, I understand people love art and they go and they talk about what it means to them. And I look at it and go, there's a picture. And I move on with my life. And I get what you're saying there, Polly, about me being, I am. My mother called me stubborn. And you're free to use that word too.
Get out of here. I don't believe that.
I am. I'm a very stubborn person. I have been my entire life.
There's people of firm resolve, but I happen to know through provided evidence that you are not universally this way. I know that you're not a nihilist. I hear the way that you
I'm not a nihilist.
I hear the way you talk about pumpkin and little butt. Yeah, I know you believe in the value of things that exist beyond you. So
yeah, I'm not a nihilist. I just don't put that much meaning on things. I have very little from my childhood, and that's by choice. It's not that I didn't have a chance. Even the fire I've talked about before, where we lost so many things, we still had a bunch with us because it was a house that my parents had bought, and they'd saved some stuff there, but a lot of what we had was still with us. So like we lost a bunch of pictures, but we still had a bunch of pictures. But I don't collect stuff from my life. I have very few things. Like I think I may have one picture of my mom around. The only thing I have from my dad when he died is there's a cup that he specifically left a note in that said it was for me. And it's because it was my grandfather. My grandfather was named after. It was his coffee cup, which my dad for some reason always kept, and now I have. And I don't even know how long I'll hang on to that. I just don't put my memories of them are more important than something of theirs. I just don't have that attachment.
Huh.
Thank you, Bear. People are too focused on material things when the true meaning and joy in this life is family and purpose. You probably said what I've been saying the last hour much better than I did. Yeah, well, very well. I mean, yeah. Art advances humanity. I disagree.
Well, I would argue that the material things, it all depends on what you're fitting into the category of material things. As I said, there's numerous objects, be they art or religious objects or et cetera, that they are simply material objects in their simplest form.
Sure.
But the meaning that's applied to them you use the word purpose, and that's exactly what I'm getting at. It does provide a repository of meaning for what purpose is, something larger than yourself.
Mm-hmm. And
if it otherwise, why are we, somebody brought this up as an example before, and I'm sure it's in chat, I'm sure it's popped up in somebody else's head. And I'm not trying to compare this to a religious value, but why are we so upset about the tearing down of Confederate statues? Why are we so concerned about, what's next? Jefferson and Washington statues being taken down? Why does it matter? Who cares? They're just things. Who gives a fuck? How does it affect your life?
When we had this argument or when this was the argument in the news, if you guys want to go back, you can check me. When we talked about the tearing down of Confederate statues, I said the same thing I just said. And it's very much the same as the book burning argument. It depends on why. If you're removing a statue of Robert E. Lee because that space is needed for something important, if you need to say, we need a place to build housing, fuck it, I don't care about that statue. It doesn't erase Robert E. Lee from history if there's not a statue of him in a park somewhere.
But it bothers you because that is the intended purpose behind the people that are doing it, trying to wipe him from history, as it were.
My purpose is that they're whiny SJWs who aren't doing it because it's needed. They're doing it because, oh my God, when I walk by, every time I walk by, it hurts my feelings. No, it doesn't. Shut up, faggot. Oops. Oh, damn.
Yeah, that was a hard F, man.
It's been a while since I've done that only twice on stream. That's only the second time I've ever done that. Whoops.
Disavow.
No, I don't disavow that at all. That's my problem. It's the meaning behind why you're doing it. If you're doing it because you're trying to erase history, especially under the notion of every time I walk by it, I feel bad. No, you don't. Shut up. You're a liar.
You probably didn't even pay any attention to it before then.
You're doing it because somebody said, this is what we're going to argue about now. Shut up. You're not doing it because that space is needed for anything. Fuck off. Hard demonetized. Shit happens. No, it's, again, it's all relative, I guess.
Dude, I'm not listening anymore. There's a huge cat fight in the neighborhood, and all the dogs and birds are going off. So strange. Okay.
Wow.
I don't even know what to make of that statement.
Wow.
Like, were you saying we sound like a bunch of cats and birds going off, or you're literally listening to us go back and forth on this shit? And yeah, Frosted Glass, I did check Twitter. God damn, you're fucking spicy, man. That's some fucking...
Okay. Backscan asks a good question that I have a good answer for. Okay. Backscan says, what about this? They discovered they may be able to recover conversations from a pot that was made 10,000 years before. If we lose objects, we lose part of history. Okay. They were just able to decipher paintings, American Indian paintings on the Cape, on a Cape wall.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what they were? Did you read the story?
It's so funny.
I forget. They're incredibly,
Like
sports scores.
Yeah,
they were sports scores.
Basically lacrosse.
Mm-hmm.
Was that really a great find? If we had never been able to decipher that, would we have lost something?
For lacrosse players, yeah.
I mean, we just put way more importance. If they had the ability to do that, to recover a conversation, we can hear what was said in the room this pot was in. One, we probably wouldn't be able to tell what they were actually saying, and two, it would probably be some woman whining that her husband is banging a neighbor.
Then we have to go to the neighbor's pot to find out why.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be great gossip. Good to hear the sports scores again. Yeah, I thought that cave painting thing was awesome. It's like, you guys spent all that time and it turned out to be sports scores. How disappointed were you?
Guys. Exactly.
I realized that you weren't doing a comparative statement there. I get that. But, I mean, it's clearly known what was lost at Notre Dame. So it's not like there was a mystery to it. That argument would have made sense. And I understand you weren't trying to make a direct comparison, but that argument would have made sense if it was the history, the fact that it's old in and of itself lends it value. I don't think anybody's making that claim when it comes to Notre Dame. That is the fact that it's some old shit gives it value. Okay. That's not what anyone's saying.
So would you argue, using what you just said, that if Notre Dame, that cathedral, had just been erected 10 years ago, that people would be as upset as they are right now if it burned down?
No, because the longevity of it,
because
coupled with its meaning, is what gives it loss.
Okay, all right. I like I said,
because 800 years of a given religious tradition in a given way, and something that's exceptionally emblematic for the French. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Of them and who they are, and that it survived like fucking Napoleon and the Nazis and fucking Muslim invasions and beefs and the fall of the last vestiges of the Roman Empire, and the list goes on and on and on. Okay, that's a long time for that motherfucker to have still been standing, and it speaks to the hardiness and the resolve and the value of those things that it is to be French, that it is to be French, that it is to be Christian, and therefore there's meaning because it extends beyond one's own lifetime. But now that it won't extend beyond your lifetime, it feels like the end, and so I can see why somebody looking upon it as a French Catholic would be moved to tears. I get that.
Sure. I mean, I get it too. I understand it. I just don't feel that way. I don't have those attachments. And I think the longevity of Catholicism has nothing to do with any cathedral.
No, it doesn't. Like, you know what? I'll one up you. It has nothing to do with any one material object or any group of material objects, which is why where my mind went on it was, what now? It was just some old shit. Oh, it'll affect our tourist industry.
A mall. What's wrong with a mall?
The height of the mundane, the height of the profane, erected in a place that was the height of the sacred. And you wonder what the problem is.
Okay, how about Trump Tower, Paris?
What was that meant as a comparative statement? Okay, so let's put up something sacred like Trump Tower, Paris. What the fuck
No,
was
no,
that?
you specified that the mall was the height of the profane. That means anything that Trump Tower is less so. So it's less so. How about that? Look, okay, now I'm just fucking with you because we've done this for too long. But I understand it. I do. I disagree with it. I don't think if Notre Dame was actually lost, uh, it doesn't end Catholicism. It doesn't. Devout Catholics aren't going to become less so because that building's not standing. Their faith is in their heart. It's, I mean, it's in their Bibles. It's in their wherever they can congregate. There are people who have their religious services in tiny little churches where I live, tiny fucking churches, and they're no less devout than somebody who has been to Notre Dame.
No, oh well, yeah, but as a measure of devotion isn't the question. It's a statement of the building of the cathedral, the architectural work that went into it, how long it's been rebuilt for. All of those stand as evidences of devotion. So to have it lost is like, good God, that really sucks. What a letdown, because of all of that effort of devotion has now been gone. Yeah, it doesn't mean that new devotional efforts can't be put forth to build something new on it, but not a motherfucking mall, man.
I'll put them all up. The mall at Notre Dame.
Hey, Paradise.
And you know what?
Parking lot.
You can have a big fountain in the center with Jesus spitting. Too far. Okay. Anyhow, look, I am sorry for. Yeah, go ahead.
I popped in this chat and I didn't expect to be arguing like the emotional guru wannabe hippie. Fuck. Thanks, monkey.
I told you were going to disagree with me. I knew you were going to disagree with me. We've had enough arguments now that I think I know when we're going to disagree. And I'm waiting for that time where you agree with me. I'm like, fuck, I need to change my position. Johnny Blaze says, I like that joke, monkey. Thank you. You're probably the only one. Oh, man. So now that I've pissed off everybody in chat, and it wasn't meant to piss you off. It's just that's how it is. Let's see. We're gonna hit up the hashtag, see what's going on over there, and then maybe we'll check some other news and see what's going on.
I will say this, allow me to connect it to another drum that I beat.
Sure.
I think that the news entertainers were at something of a loss today, reporting on this story around Notre Dame and the fire.
Why do you say that?
Because they had to report on some actual news, and the fucking news entertaining pundits who usually just banter back and forth their hacky bullshit in and of Trump were at a loss. Like, well, shit, what do we do? Our opinions don't count as the news on this. Maybe shit. Like, it was one of the first times that I watched the news in a while that I heard something actually newsworthy being reported as news, meaning here's the facts of what's going on. And why did it take the fire truck so long to get there? Well, because, you know, to block roads and they're ancient roads. And so therefore they're not exactly straight line things and all this stuff. And it's like, holy shit, this is actual information. And I haven't heard Trump mentioned once. And all of a sudden it cut to Donald Trump speaking about it. I'm like, I knew you couldn't resist, you fuckers.
Let me ask you about something you just said.
Okay.
A lot of Paris is old, including their roads. If they had to tear down some other architectural building, architectural marvels around Notre Dame to make better roads, so if this happened again, fire trucks could get there easier, and to make better roads, would that be okay?
Better roads to get around in there? Yeah, I don't see why. Yeah, I don't know. It depends on how long that particular what have you. Like, no, this has been the city plan since this day. We're not going to leave that tradition behind. It's like, okay, fair enough.
Okay. Richo says, I just got here. Can we talk about the significance of the Notre Dame building? or burning. Shut up. I know you've been here.
I like Mr. Bingo. Hold on, Bingo Go Go statement. Climate change burned it down. Yeah, they missed an opportunity. They could have
climate
said
change. Well, they will. You got to give them a day. You got to give them a day. Right now, they're still reacting to the fire. And
I was waiting for someone to say, well, in the era of Trump, what we can.
Well, oh yeah, I'm sure that's coming. Monkey, you see Weibo's SQ. Yeah, I saw her leaving side quest. I actually talked to her about it earlier today.
She is.
What?
She left unexpectedly.
Yes, she left side quest, and
Okay.
she's okay. Everything's good with her. She just has some personal stuff that came up. So,
Okay.
It's good. She's doing okay. It's concerning, but the one statement Silverback made reminder: this could be arson. This could well be arson. Okay,
hang on, because I do want to get into that, but real quick, where'd that go? Shit. It was just on my screen. I had a donation. Some Dutch dude says, Monkey, today's my birthday. Some Dutch dude, happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Polly.
Oh, we're singing. Oh, shit. Shubop, shubop.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Shubop, shubop.
Happy birthday, dear some Dutch dude.
Love Dutch people.
Shubop, shubop.
Happy birthday to you.
Not a fan of the ovens.
Shubop, shubop.
Thank you so much for the donation. Happy birthday. I hope you had a great one. And okay, Polly, you were just about to talk about arson.
Really quick before we get into that. Yeah, I knew that Prospero's current trip was her 25th anniversary trip, but I forgot that until she mentioned it right now. Happy anniversary, Prospero.
Happy anniversary, sweetie.
Hey.
And thank you for checking in. I know you said you'd be offline for 2 weeks, but I will forget that when I don't see you for a while, and I will get worried. So thank you for stopping by.
Be well.
Be well. Have fun.
I mean, my main point on it, because everything's going to be speculation. I'm not part of their investigation team. I don't know. Fires, the force they have there, I'm sure they're very good at finding where the flashpoint, the accelerants possibly were, if any. And they're saying, oh, it was because of the reconstruction. And it's like, yeah, I can see that. Lots of power tools, lots of wood. I get it. But what I find interesting is both CNN, ABC, and Fox that I checked today all immediately said, terrorism is not suspected. And it's like, you even had to say that is so fucking telling.
Did you see what Frosted Glass tagged us in?
The Gwen thing?
Yes.
Stop Gwenning us.
That's what I meant when I said he's spicy, sometimes too spicy.
Oh, I didn't see that. Too spicy. That's funny.
Damn, man. That's all I'm gonna say is damn, man.
I did see there's a thing floating around. People are like, I'm not going to comment on this. I'm just going to leave it here. And it's a video from in one of the towers, and it looks like there might be a Muslim walking there.
Dun, dun.
I was like, oh, fuck off. Look, if it turns out a Muslim burned the place down, I'm with you in your outrage, because fuck that guy. If it turns out that it's just somebody left an arc welder on, look what you were just spreading. You absolutely were spreading hate. So why don't you shut the fuck up and wait till you find out?
There you go.
Did you have more to say on the arson, Polly?
No. I mean, like, what is there to say?
Exactly. We don't even know what it was.
The suspicion I find hilariously telling. Like, it's like right away, that's where individuals' minds go. And it's like, we're telling you on the news that this isn't the news, so don't think it's the news. And it's like, okay.
Right.
Why would you assume that everyone was assuming that? Oh, right. I know why.
Shio says, must be awful in Paris right now, surrounded by all those Muslims. You know, going back to your point about whether or not this is going to strengthen the Catholic community there or not, that's going to be something interesting to see.
Yeah.
And especially how Muslims react to this. Because you know there's going to be donations pouring into this to get it rebuilt because it is beloved around the world. It is a major religious symbol to so many people. So it's going to get rebuilt. There's no question about that. But whether or not they, you know, share compassion, that is going to be an interesting thing to see coming out of Paris. Anyhow, let's move on, guys. We've beat this to death, or I've
and then revived it and beat it to death again. So yeah, by all means.
A couple of times. Oh God. Texas woman allegedly attacks husband after getting silence. Oh God, this is one of those where it doesn't give me the full thing. After getting silence when she asked if she's pretty. Oh, this comes from Massive Dynamics by way of Fox News. You're gonna give me that full page ad shit, aren't you? Give me that. There you go, you fuckers. Anyway, a woman in Texas allegedly assaulted her common law husband after he didn't respond when she asked if she was pretty. Lizeth Guadalupe Ramirez, 20, was arrested late Tuesday after the alleged incident. The Laredo Morning Times reported, citing a police report. She allegedly told investigators the man assaulted her and tried to strangle her. However, the common law husband reportedly told a different story, telling police the couple was at a movie theater when she asked him if she looked pretty. Ramirez's husband said he didn't respond, as he didn't hear her, which upset Ramirez and prompted them to leave the theater. During their ride home, Ramirez's husband claimed she allegedly hit him repeatedly. At their home, she allegedly continued to hit him and even assaulted a family member who tried to intervene. Ramirez was charged with 2 counts of assault and family violence. You want to see whether or not she's pretty?
Yay.
Let's see. Now, I have a question. Is this art?
I have a question.
Sure.
Is that a prison jumpsuit or just a confusing sweater?
By the fabric, it kind of looks like a prison kind of uniform, but there's a lot of folds and stuff in it.
Right.
So I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Sorry about the art joke. Let's see. Chicago Mayor-elect Lori Lightfoot confirms Jussie Smollett case doesn't rank as a matter of any importance. This comes from Massive Dynamics, and I'm not going to read it. It's from The Root. I'll throw it in the chat if you guys want to. It's actually from The Grapevine, which is a subsidiary of Root. I think is that what it is, or they're one of their bitches. Some dude, Dutch dude, thank you so much. Haha, that was fun, and it pops off my screen, so I got to go over here to read it. I'm sorry about that.
Considering that the Root itself is a subsidiary of something else, the idea that the Root has its own subsidiaries, we're entering into infinitesimally smaller fuckery holes now.
Some I can't fathom.
Some Dutch dude, thank you so much. Haha, that was fun. Thanks. Have a good one, people. Oh, no, seriously. 1, thank you for the donations. And 2, I hope you have a wonderful birthday.
Indeed.
The best yet, but not the best ever. When I first heard that phrase, it has just stuck with me. That is my wish to everybody on their birthday. I hope you have the best yet, but not the best ever. Because if you say the best ever, then it's like, oh, all the other ones are going to suck. But you want it to be the best they've ever had, but not the best they're ever going to have. Oh, God. This one comes to us by Colleen Bernier. It's a Florida man, technically, but it's not a man. High school student arrested after trying wrestling finishing move on principal.
Oh, I heard about this. He tried to DDT his principal or something.
Yeah, it's actually what is it? RKO.
RKO. There you go. Yeah, it was great.
A high school student was arrested Wednesday after allegedly trying a wrestling move on his high school principal. Gianna. It's male. Some Dutch dude, thank you. Thanks, I'm keeping that one in mind. Yeah, it's one of my favorites. Gianna Sosa, 18, faced a judge Thursday morning after pulling an RKO move on principal at Miami's Southridge Senior High School.
I don't know. It makes me so happy, but it does.
It's don't do it. Don't do things like that. Police said the principal told them Sosa assaulted him in the second floor hallway. And RKO, or Randy Keith Orton, named after the wrestler who came up with it, is a finishing move involving grabbing an opponent by the neck, jumping into the air, and driving his head into the mat in the fall. Police were called and Sosa was arrested. The student's brother and sister told CBS 4 Peter, I don't care what his name is, that Sosa was just clowning around and should not have been arrested. He drove his principal's head into the floor, for fuck's sake.
Attempted to drive his head into the floor.
Sosa is charged with battery on a school employee and interfering in an institution.
You were going to say education?
No, I was going to say education and institution as one word, and it came out like I was trying to. Sosa is charged with battery on a school employee and interfering with an educational institution. In court, his attorney said he should have been placed in detention and not arrested. Are you kidding? Look, even if he was playing around, which you know what, I'm happy to believe he was. You did something stupid, man. What the fuck? What
happened with this?
Why would you think that was okay? Yeah, and he didn't actually get the move on him. Here's the link because there is a video of it. He tried to grab him the way to do it, and the principal is a big man who like just kind of pushed him off and wrangled him. But yeah, don't fucking grab teachers or administrators or anything like that, even if you think you're being funny. Even if you have a good relationship with them. No, don't do that. You're a kid. Sit the fuck down, shut up. What? I don't understand what's going on. Why do we have all these time? Poppy?
Is her boobs doing stuff again?
Oh.
Poppy, are you meaning to do that?
Are you titty bopping people again?
Thought we had this under control.
Time out, guys. She's got some angry titties, man.
The angriest. There's never been such rage-filled titties before.
Poppy, can you hear us right now?
I love that that's actually a thing. She really does bop people with her tits. It's great. For those of you who don't know, Pop Tart in the past is like, what's that? Monkey?
She actually blocked somebody. I gotta fix that.
Blocked.
Yeah,
she hid them from the channel.
She's busy doing something because she's often at work, and she'll shove her phone into her bra strap and bop people by accident.
Yeah. I didn't think you did, sweetie. Be careful. Okay. I think I have this fixed now. Yeah, nobody's showing blocked here. All right. Sorry about that, guys. She didn't do it on purpose.
She's not angry. Her boobs are.
Yeah, she's got really angry titties, man. Really angry titties. So backscan, reason. Who else did she get? Is it just those two?
I think just those two.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. What did she do? She actually she hid you for a while, hid and unhid you with her boobs.
No one's taking your wrench. We're entertained by this.
Not taking your wrench. You be careful with your boobs, honey.
Stay out of cold like freezers or whatever. It's all good.
Reason, it wasn't on purpose. It wasn't on purpose.
Oh God, now he's gonna get angry.
Calm down. Yeah, you're fine. And Backscan will be able to talk to us again here in a couple seconds. Sorry, Backscan. Love you, man.
You should feel proud. You got bopped by the boob.
Yeah, you got boob bopped, man. It actually doesn't happen that often. It's just when it does happen.
It's been a while. It's been a month, couple at least.
Yeah, I think I've only done it twice. Anyhow,
I'll be back in just a second.
Sure. And no, Poppy, I'm not taking your wrench. Let's see. Oh, dear Christ. Frosted Glass, why do you hate me?
What is he doing? I haven't even looked recently.
Well, it's the stories he sent.
Oh.
Do I want to read this shit? Yeah, I guess we will. Oh, I like at the top. It tells me it's only a 5-minute read.
It underestimates my ability to read quickly.
Like if it was 6 minutes, I'd be like, nah, too long. Who is Poppy? Okay, first of all, it's Poppie, and that is the Lucky Pop Tart. You don't suck, sweetie. You're awesome. Stop it.
Well, I mean, we haven't asked her husband, but
Well, I mean, yeah, your husband might say differently, but
I'm not going to ask him because that would be rude.
it was burning my chest, so I turned it sideways. Not good.
Your tits are on fire.
You got them hot titties. Stop it.
God damn it. I love
Poppy
it.
got them hot boobs, man. She got hot boobs. Hashtag hot boobs. And can I get a F in chat for backscan? Poor bastards. You know what, Poppy? But your boobs were nice to reason. They unhid him.
They did. They were nicely done to the damage.
Oh my god.
This is so good.
There we go. All right. The unique struggle to find a therapist of color.
Oh my god.
Poppy says, "Oh, I suck him." Okay, good for him. Good man. Good man. Bra on fire flashback. Whoa, Christy. What?
Wouldn't that be called like a hot flash?
Is that Crystal?
Christy, there's an eye there.
Is that night? Okay, yeah. One of these days, I will find my glasses and put them on.
You should.
I actually need to get new ones, man. I haven't had an eye exam since I was in my 30s.
I have to take care of these ones.
Actually,
I don't have insurance right now.
I haven't had an eye exam since I was in my 20s. Fuck. Yeah, I need to get in and get one of those done. Backscan's back. Her boobs don't like me.
No, her boobs liked you too much. That's why she focused on you.
Well, maybe. She got reasoning back. Okay, let's get back to the struggle. Guys, the struggle is real. A few weeks ago, my phone rang with a call from an unfamiliar number. On the line was yet another new therapist reaching out to schedule yet another first appointment. I was introduced to the benefits of counseling during college, where I was a psychology major. As a student, I was given 12 free therapy sessions per school year. I learned to love therapy. Look, okay, that is funny, but
I get it.
Therapy can be helpful to a ton of people, especially if you're not, how do I put this? If you're just looking for, you need some general help in life, just don't do it if you're a fucking drama queen, because you're going to go in there with shit that's not real. But you just got some stress. You need to go to see a therapist once in a while. That's cool. Nothing wrong with it. But this person gets stupid. But I was unprepared for just how hard it would be to find a mental health professional of color in the real world.
Real world? You don't live in that.
Oh, dear God. Growing up black, and they capitalized black. Remind me what we use capitalization for. It's the beginning of sentences, proper names, and titles, right?
Yes.
Is black a title? I know it's not her name. And this is 3 sentences or 3 words into the sentence. So black must now be she just capitalized the B in black, like it's some kind of fucking title.
For disability.
That's like forever more common. The capitalized black because it's a given identity, thus a proper noun. So capitalize it. Yeah.
The fuck, it is not a.
I hear you, but it's ideological,
Okay, growing up black taught me that strength and persistence. See, the whole black thing fucked me up worse than usual. Growing up black taught me that strength and persistence were non-negotiable, and I learned to internalize my issues instead of expressing them. I was bullied throughout my childhood and was the victim of consistent and unwanted sexual advances in my adolescence. My husband and I were both living in poverty when we got married. I've grown and defied the odds of my youth, and that cocktail of experiences has left me with a lot of residual anxiety and occasional depression. Sometimes I feel like I'm one fruit short of a basket case.
That's awful.
Yeah. Now you're belittling people with actual mental disabilities.
Oh.
All right. Today, I'm a military spouse and one of only a few people of color living in almost exclusively conservative white area of rural America.
America.
Wait, you're a military spouse and you're in an almost all white area? Okay.
Fascinating.
That's weird. I've rotated through 8 different therapists over the last 6 years trying to find someone who can counsel me.
Impossible. You're crazy.
When the new therapist called, I felt hope and dread. I believe in therapy and I want it, but several bad experiences left me skeptical. What, that they were white? Oh,
You just
dear
didn't get
God.
the answers you wanted.
No, hang on. This is the very next sentence. Seeing a white counselor comes with a lot of anxiety. Bitch, you're just a racist. You're just a racist.
Maybe that's their mental disorder.
Fuck off. I'm glad you have anxiety. You're a cunt. You're a racist cunt. Let's see. Notre Dame is in here a lot. Yeah, I can't read that one. It's got dead animals. Sorry.
No.
Yeah, that's a dead kid. Oh, Kyler. I didn't see these yesterday. He posted some Jordan kind of pictures.
Oh.
Damn.
Must have seen these.
Oh, man. Anyhow. And some of Marty's mom too. Nice. Oh, Marty's mom in her panties. See, I'm telling you, Marty would have touched that. Oh, and he gave us some midgets too. You are a good man, Kyler. Anyway, that'll wrap up MIT AM for the moment. If you have an article you want us to look at sometime throughout the week, hit us up at MIT AM. Hashtag MIT AM. Let's see. It's also for nationality, so doing it for race isn't that much of a stretch. Absolutely wrong. Black is not a fucking nationality. And okay, never mind. I'm done. I'm done with that argument. No, just no. What do you think they would say if I felt anxiety around all black people? Bunty, we already know what they or Blunty. We know what they would say.
I was gonna say Bunty's here.
They'd be like, "Oh, look at the racist girl," because that's what they do. Oh man, what a day.
Well, that being the case, men are at a distinct disadvantage because the majority of counselors and those in psychology are women. So therefore, we can't find someone who understands our life experience. It's straight cis white men. Therefore, we which is of course a load of bullshit. But anyway,
yeah, no. Well, you're right. So do we capitalize men and women now since those are groups?
No, only women. Men aren't important.
Only women.
I want to see someone capitalize trans.
Oh, that's a group.
Yeah. Because it's not like trans people are trying to become like one of the greatest things and you know.
Oh, sorry, Blondie. I'll call you Blondie.
One of the best things for a trans person, as I understand it, that is when you're included in the group by assumption.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Where someone will just assume you're a she or whatever the hell, the kind of elation that comes from that, where it's like, yes, that's what I've wanted. I feel so comfortable, uncomfortable outside of that. Like I always have. This is why I wanted to transition. For someone to just assume that of me, yes, like it's an arrival feeling, you know, awesome. So to constantly be called trans is kind of like holding you in this nether region of non-existence. Yeah. It's like, I'm a trans person. I thought you wanted to be a woman. And yeah, it's ma'am. Yeah, that's what the worst kind of reaction.
You know what's funny about that?
The ma'am guy?
Yeah,
woman,
ma'am
whatever.
Guy.
Yeah.
If you call most women that age ma'am, they get mad. I'm not an old woman.
That's a good point.
They do. They get mad. And I'm like, I didn't call you an old fucking woman. I was being polite. I have a very, as you might have noticed, a big problem with names. I don't remember names very well. It takes me, I have to see you over and over in order for your name to set in. So with all the people I work with or worked with, I would often call them sir or ma'am when I was, addressing them. Like, yes, ma'am, yes, sir. And the girl, don't call me ma'am. I'm not an old woman. You bitch like one. That's how you know the person isn't actually trans. Trans don't want that label. Yeah, don't call me ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I still say that you can call a woman ma'am and it'll be a panty drop moment if you do it properly. He just made up my name. Poppy, that is not true. I just took the last part of the last part of your name and changed it. Poppy.
Context is anything if you do it with enough sarcasm, right? I remember when I called an ex-girlfriend dear.
Really?
And she fucking lost it, monkey. I mean, holy shit. Like, that was the first time I saw true hellfire rage come out of her.
Wow.
She was, here, move that over there. And then when you're done that, pick that up. And I said, yes, dear.
Oh.
Don't you yes, dear me. I am not a bitchy woman. I am not a, like, don't you, I don't want to be known as that. You just made me feel that way. How dare you? She fucking lost it. And she didn't take the sarcasm well. So context is everything.
Blondie says, well, if you say it like that, blushing. Yeah, I've proven that point many times because you didn't get to see the eyes and the little nod that go with it. Yes, ma'am. You did too. You named me after troll me. No. But I didn't just make it up. It comes from the Pop-Tart. Poppy. See? It's not like nuts where I just couldn't read it. Oh, man. If I were born... Oh, never mind. There's an argument going on in chat. You guys, relax. Relax.
No fighting or I start biting.
We had plenty of fighting on the stream last night about Marty's mom. Go watch that. You'll feel better about yourselves.
That's why... I rarely give relationship advice, or I try not to. But here is a bit of relationship advice I can give. Guys out there, here's a statement that goes so far. You can tell me what to do or how to do it, but not both. Just and say it early, because when you're hanging a painting or whatever it is that your girlfriend has asked you to do, yeah, you can go ahead and do it. But when she's standing behind you and telling you how to do it, and that can be very frustrating for a man. See, now I'm all fucking self-conscious of that. Eve keeps making fun of the way I say frustrated because I dropped the R off. Frustrated. Of it. So now I stumble on the word after she's snickered a whole bunch of times. Anyway, yeah, it's like, what did I say? So you can tell me what to do or how to do it, but not both. And then she, right, because there's an obvious implication. If you know what you want done and you know how you want to do it yourself. But if you want me to do it, you got to let me do it my own way.
Yeah, let me give you some other advice, man. What he just said makes perfect sense. But you're dealing with women.
Yeah, I knew that's where you were going. It's like, that's perfectly reasonable, but
sometimes it's just easier to do it her way. I'm just throwing that out there. Rather than have to hear shit about it, just do it her way. Yes, man. Whatever. Whatever you need. Whatever you need.
Yeah.
Now, not in all things, don't be a bitch, but yeah,
sometimes discretion's a better part of valor. Bite the bullet, do it, move on. I hear you. But it's nice to have that ace up your sleeve, that like establish it early, and when you need to pull it out, you can. But judgment is called for. Absolutely.
I get you. I do. And again, we're dealing with women, so logic sometimes goes out the window because they're an emotional species, which is what makes them so awesome, because you never know what kind of crazy you're getting that day. I say that, but really, Lady Monkey is such a sweetheart. But back in the day, man, when she was young, it's like, all right, whatever. I've done that. You want to fucking do it? All right, then leave me alone. But yeah.
Yeah, and saying it that way won't spark off a fight. You want to fucking do it? Like, whoa.
You're right. It can. I don't have a DM from Zool.
Gozer maybe, but not Zool.
Yeah, I don't have any. I have. Yeah, there's a. I have a just a you tagged me in something. Okay, I see the tag of the ma'am GameStop customer. Oh, is that real?
Yeah.
That's awesome. For those of you who can't see what we're talking about here, that's beautiful. It says, "Ma'am, GameStop customer."
Oh wow.
That's funny.
Isn't
That is
cool?
fucking funny.
Whew. They missed the beard though, or is there stubble there actually?
James Colley says, PSA, do not listen to Polydub. I used to tell my ex-wife that when we were married. Mind you, I said ex-wife. Monkey is right. Indeed. No, there are times that'll work. I mean, but there's times that yeah. And even with what you said, Polly, it inflection is very important.
Notice, yeah, and I say, remember what I said? You can say, notice I took the bass right out of my voice.
Yeah, you gotta have a little humor to it. And yeah. You can't be like, you tell me what to do, or what's the exact phrase again? I don't live
You
by
can tell
it.
me what to do or how to do it,
Yeah.
not both.
And don't say it like he just did.
Yeah.
You got to be all playful about it.
Yes, the playfulness is key. And don't ever start any statement with, bitch, what I tell you. Don't.
Yeah, bitch, what I tell you. What I tell you.
Especially in public.
No, see, it's my experience that most men don't even want to fight in public. Women love that shit. It's like, honey, we'll talk about this at home. No, why we gotta talk about this at home? So I give you a black eye in public, I'm going to jail. Whoops.
Jesus Christ.
Do not give your wife a black eye.
But she really deserves it.
I mean, she falls down the stairs enough. She walks into enough doors.
Monkey's a master of doors and stairs, so.
Wait a minute. That did. Bloody Blondie says, I'm buying that doll, the only thing I'll ever buy from GameStop. That did say GameStop on it. Is that a GameStop official product?
I hope so.
I don't know.
I didn't think their company was that cool.
Well, it says at the top. It says at the top, GameStop, power to the player. But
oh shit.
Pop customers. Wait, do they have a whole line of Pop customers? Or is this?
There better be a Chris Chan one.
It's #1, so I don't know if and it's only sold at GameStop. Yeah, it says it right there.
Damn.
That's funny as fuck. They should have given it a 5 o'clock shadow though.
Yeah.
That's funny. Anyhow. Oh, man. Uh-oh. Ocasio-Cortez predicts Game of Thrones ending.
No.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
Ilhan predicted the future, the beginning of it. I mean,
Yeah, I see what you did there.
Yeah, both Jim and Adreno are saying it's a fake. That it's.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's like a mock-up, that sort of thing.
Wait, that's only a mock-up? Huh. That's whoever made it, that's fucking awesome. GameStop should sell that. Let's see. I'm looking at, guys, we're at 2 hours, but I'm not quite ready to stop. So I was just looking for anything interesting to talk about. And the news is pretty much dominated by Notre Dame for good reason. I mean,
I like Johnny Blaze's question. What is Game of Thrones? I hear you. I wish I could ask that with a straight face.
Is he serious?
No, I think it was a joke. Like the idea being, Game of Thrones, everyone talks about it. Everyone wants to see it. There's discussion of it everywhere. So thus there's some ironic humor in saying, what is it?
Polly, if it's a joke, I understand the joke.
You just checking. You seemed like you might not know what what a joke was.
Yeah, thank you so much, Shio. Thank you. What do you tell a wife with two black eyes? Nothing you haven't told her already. It's twice already.
Twice already. Yeah, get it right.
Also, the GameStop thing is a mock-up. Okay,
Aw,
they should sell it.
they definitely should.
Yeah, I will openly admit that there's things that are everywhere, and I have no idea what the hell they even are. I asked in Discord earlier, what is this Sekiro thing I keep reading about everywhere? And they're like, it's a game, Polly.
Oh, yeah, it's Sekiro.
Sekiro. Yeah, okay, weeb. But the point is, I've read about
Whatever,
it
you
every
Star Trek nerd, fuck off.
Guilty.
Hey, Ed, what is your Ed, send me a DM, man. If you're able to come on, I want to talk to you. I need to talk to you.
That
at the end of it,
confrontational.
Uh-oh.
I want to talk to you.
I want to talk to you, son. Get your ass in here. We need to talk.
Yeah, so I had to ask them, like, what is this, like the biggest game ever or something, or is there an issue with it? Is it a huge flop? Because I just see, like, it's in video titles, it's in article headlines, et cetera, and they're like, no, it's just a super popular new game in the what series? Dark Souls. Thank you. That was it. Yeah, it's like Dark Souls series. Never heard of Bloodborne? And I'm like, oh yeah, sure, I have that. I guess part of that. I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
It's in the same vein as that.
What game?
Sekiro.
Oh yeah. Okay. Ed, I can't. I'm at work, motherfucker. You bastard. Nah, dude, I really loved your video on Andy, man. Your fucking commentary was killing me. It was fucking killing me.
I kept watching material after we got off the Hangouts last night, Monkey.
Mm-hmm.
Like Andy material. And dude, I was talking in Discord before I came on here, right? To Far. Mm-hmm. And I said, Far, did you know that Alex paid to be hanging out with them? And she's like, that's so sad. I'm like, that's what I said. I still can't get over that he was.
Yeah, I don't know if he paid for this specific trip, but he did pay to hang out with them when it was with Ralph.
It was, just to be clear, it was the kind of situation where top donor gets to chill with us and go for drinks kind of thing, and he was the top donor?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just considering how and then so all right, so they met that way, and then they also went to do this IRL.
So yeah, and then there's like, oh, he's
Explorers thing.
He's got a gun and a taser. Bring him.
And he's willing to color his hair.
I just fucking love. Yeah. You weren't looking for trouble when you brought a gun and a taser.
And it's like, that was Far's question. It's like, okay, wait a minute. You mean he brought it? Because I said, like, a stun gun, bzz, bzz. And she goes, and she thought I was kidding. And she goes, no, wait a minute. You mean he actually brought that too, in addition to a firearm? I'm like, yeah. What the hell did he think was going to happen? I'm like, that's the question. Like, how far in advance had they figured out that, hey, walking around with a Bluetooth speaker with speech to text, or text to speech rather, going on live, you must have expected beef, or why would the only guy who was doubly armed be the only one who wasn't drinking and ready to describe himself as security for the other two, etc.? You guys must have realized something was going to pop off, because you certainly looked like you were prepped for it.
Real quick, Circus says, just saw a car crash right outside my work. Oh, damn. I hope everybody's okay.
Oh, dude.
Ed says, I'm really interested to see if the stand your ground defense works for him. I mean, Florida let worse people walk free due to that shit. I don't think it is, because not the way he tried to use it. Who was it? I think it was a Medicare in his video. He pointed out, I mean, this is just like Cartman standing in the street, drawing a circle around himself, saying, don't come in here. Don't come in here. I'm standing my ground. It's almost identical to it.
Lesser Logic pointed something out. They've been to shooting ranges on a live stream. I did see that. I forgot about that until you mentioned. I did see that as one of the videos, like, we're at the shooting range or whatever. I don't know. Maybe guns are just what they're into, and that's why they ended up carrying it. It wasn't that they were expecting it.
No,
I don't fucking know.
They knew what they were doing.
No. Whether or not they knew this specific thing was going to happen, they knew they were courting trouble. There's no other reason to bring two weapons with you.
Yeah. And the point doesn't seem to get made a lot, is that you have one confrontation with a guy, another one, and then the third confrontation is when the gun gets pulled out. Well, let's not skip over the fact that the second confrontation, you did hit him with the stun gun.
Yes. Well,
that's critically important,
Ed, you're absolutely right. Bigger problem is probably the entire stream in full context. Yes, especially from the part where they first encounter this guy. Because if you only look at the last part of the video, maybe you can go, all right, okay, maybe, and maybe that. I still think he's wrong in my opinion, but maybe you can make the argument that they had a reason for that. But they have the original standoff, the original confrontation, and the guy walks away. And so these idiots announce, "We're walking to our car. We're going to walk to our car," which just happens to be in the same direction. And then as Andy passes him, Andy actually says, "No, you're following me." I'm like, dude, he's actually going after Failure over there. And then Failure's like, get away from me, and just keeps walking towards him. He actually goes backwards to stay with the guy, goes around like a lamppost or something there. Like you were inciting this the whole time. So yeah, he's I'm interested to see how this one turns out if they do end up with just a slap on the hand. But damn, that was such a shit show. But Ed's video, guys, if you haven't seen it, it's Ed is Edindra Whitehall. That's his name right there. That's his channel. Check it out. It's funny as fuck. There's a great part when Alex says, what is it? Come on, guys, we should keep walking, or let's just go, or something like that. And Ed's like, that's great advice. Too bad you're not the leader. It's like, yep.
Well,
Oops.
As a really quick point, like you have Jim Healis and Scrappy talking about having more than one weapon on them, and particularly a knife. I'm not trying to say that I understand your point, guys. If you want to look at it in a technical sense, I always have two knives on me if you count my Leatherman as one knife.
No, I got that as one of the most wonderful multi-tools ever.
Yeah, I got the Skeletool. Oh man.
Oh, you lucky shit.
Yeah, and I bought it with the one with the carbon fiber insert and the higher grade steel. And
yeah, but the sheath that comes with it sucks though.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't get the one with the sheath. I just got the one that was in the not bubble wrap, but in the clamshell deal. And it was more expensive, but the DLC coating and the higher grade jump up of the blade steel, and that it has the carbon fiber insert to knock an extra 2 ounces off the weight. Oh, fuck. It was totally worth the extra $30, man.
Nice.
Yeah. So we're just nerding out over Tools Monkey. It's fine.
You're fine. One of the other great things about this, guys, is that Monkey in the Morning is brought to you by you. There's my Streamlabs link if you care to donate. But no, one of the other great things about this is Alex wouldn't have gone to jail if these idiots hadn't have shown the cops the footage.
You think so?
They would have no real proof he pulled the gun, or that it wasn't warranted. Nobody got shot. They'd just be like, all right, everybody go your separate ways. Instead, they filmed him assaulting the guy with the taser. And Andy then made the case, well, he assaulted us first. Yes, and then it de-escalated, and you escalated again, and then he fucking tased him. And man, the look on Alex's face right as he tased him, and that guy doesn't even fucking blink. He's like, yeah, oh fuck.
I know I keep saying it, but like he could have just pinched him really hard and it would have had the same effect. Like, dude, if there's any one thing you should take away from this, Alex, is that fucking around with people trying to provoke people out in public, you're going to get a reaction sometimes, and it's not going to end up good. Don't go around deliberately provoking people. And I know I said one thing, but two things: don't act like your little fucking toy is actually a useful self-defense tool. Obviously he had a Walther PPQ. That's obviously not a toy, but that so-called stun gun you had clearly wasn't up to the task that you thought it was.
Well, maybe here's my thought, and follow me on this. Maybe at home they tested it on Alex and Andy, and they both fell.
Yeah, and I mean, where you get somebody surely has an effect, but let's keep in mind he buzzed him under the left arm, and true indeed, your heart is closer to the center of your chest than it is to the left side of your chest, but still, he got him in a fairly sensitive spot, but it was just like he got a really hard skin pinch, like a titty twister,
drunk roid monstrosity.
Yeah, that guy was huge. There's no question. That's part of the variables of why it didn't work. Yeah.
That is not man-made muscle there. Sorry, guys.
You don't think
It's
so?
not. No. Fuck no. That is
I
not.
love how you go right to the roids.
It is. Look at it.
Yeah,
if
he's
you
a big dude.
if
There's
you
no
look at
question.
people
That guy
who
was
just
big.
work out, human muscle develops in a very similar way constantly. It's human fucking muscle. It doesn't start to bulge like that until you start to roid up. And there's comparisons online. You guys can see. Yeah, that was a roid motherfucker. And you can see it when he takes off his chest. Oh, you're roiding out right now. Okay. Roid weight rage for equality. And again,
I don't know. They were testing guns in the sense of they went to a range and shot. Do you not think if they did something as potentially comical as hitting each other with a stun gun, they would have recorded it? I don't know. Was that ever up on their channel? I don't watch Purple Dragon.
I don't know. This is the first time I've ever watched Purple Dragon, and I was mesmerized.
I'm not going to lie. I would watch Andy and Alex hitting each other with a stun gun for laughs. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, indeed.
Couple of morons. I mean, this is like ultra low grade jackass.
Well, no, the fun part of that show last night, or 2 nights ago, whenever it was, 3 nights ago now, was his fans, man. They were trying to get him killed.
Yeah.
This was not just, look, there's, okay, we're being assholes, ha ha ha. But this is, we're going to get this motherfucker killed. And man, that's I mean, with friends like these, you know?
Yeah, I'm just, sort of trying to make that point that, any of you guys out there that are gun owners, like in chat, that have looked into it, I'm sure you've heard the discussion. What is the minimum caliber cartridge, what have you, that's going to be effective? And a lot of people say 9mm, and they say no, 380 ACP is actually more effective than people are willing to accept it as being. 22 is not effective. Blah blah blah. There's all this discussion in around what is the minimum caliber cartridge for self-defense. Okay, but at least there's a discussion around it. Mm-hmm. And there's an assumption that this is an effective self-defense tool, be it, let's say it's a 9mm. Okay. What is it around a stun gun? I'm saying, guys, don't go get a stun gun if you're like a lady who just doesn't want to have a gun, but you want something that could be effective. Don't just grab anything, because it might not be as effective as you think it's going to. Get something that's reliably incapacitating, be it pepper spray or a taser, or a stun gun, or a gun, whatever it is. Don't just buy a novelty toy that goes bzzz, because Jesus, you expect it to work and it doesn't. That's awful.
No, instead you give the rapist a bigger boner. Blondie says, my stepson got hit with a stun gun, with a BA badass stun gun in 8th grade while drunk. He could have died by his friends. Oof. See, friends like these, you can't look. Men are stupid, and it starts when we're very young. I'm glad your son is okay, but yeah, boys are stupid. We'll do dumb shit because it's what we do.
Yeah, no, there's no question. It was Monkey, you'll get this. Okay, I'm at Walmart earlier, and I'm talking to Far and Platy over in Discord while I'm there. And it's mostly funny because Far doesn't have Walmart in Australia. Mm-hmm. And get this, she's like, one of the things she wanted to see when she came and visited Platy was, we got to go to a Walmart. Somebody wanted to go visit a Walmart as a tourist, Monkey.
So see, instead of building a mall, we build a Walmart there.
It's just the idea of all of these things in one place was just not mind-blowing, but just, we don't have any, everything from food to shop towels to tools to, just nuts. It's Walmart, right?
Blondie said, yeah, people were dumb. They were dumb. Look, that's why women exist. Men are going to do dumb shit, and you guys stop us from doing dumb shit. We learned, like, oh, wait, there's vagina over there, and she doesn't want me doing this. I want vagina. I'm not going to do this. We don't get any smarter as we get older. We really don't.
No, we don't. And what fits in with that is I was over there and I thought, oh, they must have the baseballs out now at Walmart, right? And all the bins of all I have is the synthetic wrap baseballs right now, and I wanted to get a genuine leather wrap baseball. Right? So anyway, I pop over there. They had 3 bins. All of them were sold out, which made me happy, frankly. I was like, cool. that many people had came and bought leather wrap genuine baseballs for the upcoming season. That's cool.
That is cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And I said, yeah, I love playing catch. I love going to the batting cage. It's great fun. I'm not saying I'm great at it, but fuck, I enjoy it. And then I said, you know, even tossing a football is great fun, although I don't like football. And Far's like, no, I've never done that. I might get hurt. And I'm like, yeah, and and she said, but no, seriously, like I might get hit in the head. I said, yeah, but you're gonna live. Like, you don't think I've been hit by a football because I let it slip through my hands and slam me right in the forehead? It happens. And she goes, yeah, but it'll hurt. I'm like,
Yeah.
and I just realized it's a guy thing. You know what I mean? Go out and play rough. You're going to get hurt, but you'll live. Next day, do it again.
Eventually you get
It's
better
just
at
a guy
dodging it.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same reason we're going to hit each other with stun guns because, you'll live.
I just want to see how bad it hurts.
Far says specifically in the head. Look, it happens, man.
Yeah. You move on. It's
Oh,
and chicks dig scars. I'm
chicks
told.
dig scars.
So they do.
Glory lasts forever.
Mm.
That's the end of a movie for those of you who don't know. Man, the Replacements is one of my favorite movies ever.
Yeah, I dig it.
It's just so funny and well done. And yeah, it's stupid. If you try to watch it logically, it's like, this makes no sense.
I
It's
like
a great
Keanu
movie.
Reeves.
I love the scene where they
Were they singing "I Will Survive"?
No, I do like that. No, but the second time they turn over his truck and his guards come out, well, we got this.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
That is one of the best scenes ever in a movie. But with that, guys, we are going to wrap this up. We're just over the 2-hour mark now, and I need to try to get me some sleepies because tomorrow night I need to be on a somewhat decent schedule. Tomorrow night, I need to try to be done by 4. But
Yeah, right.
Shut up. Guys, thank you so much for the donations. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it. Thank you for hanging in there and listening to me offend all of you again. I don't mean to offend the audience all the time. I'm just different.
He'd rather offend me. Trust me.
What was that, Polly?
You're just an offensive person. It's fine.
I am.
It's not intentional. You're just being you.
And yeah, I make no apologies for being me. So, Polly, anything you want to shill tonight?
Yeah, there is the link to my channel where every Wednesday, which is coming right up, we do comic book curation where Jack, Inquisitor, and myself dance in and around comic books and do recommendations and talk about pop culture and movies and all that fun stuff. So yeah, check it out. If you like it, by all means, subscribe.
Alrighty, Dax, anything you want to pimp out?
No, but I'd like to thank Dutch. Apparently he sent me a Streamlabs and I didn't even notice.
Oh.
But thank you. It just says hi.
Oh, there you go. Well, hi. Tonight we'll be on Scribe Light's channel for Lords of Night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And then we don't have a game stream tonight, so that's all we have. And with that, guys, thank you so much for watching. Polly, Dax, thank you guys for joining me. Everyone, have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time.
Let us.
Have a good night. Sub to Weibo.